early on when I started making music, I remember the feeling it gave me when people listening to it around me. And it wasn't a good feeling because it was always like, oh, here it is, time to get judged. And it's like, and not only that, but early on, right, when I was started rapping, we were working in the fields. And people were listening to my stuff, and even the older people who were there, full Mexican, just speak Spanish. And I remember they would laugh at it. They would laugh at my shit. And it's like, but to me, I've always held. I'm glad that I've always been the type of person that been like I'm not gonna lie, the laughs they did affect me at that time. Not affect me as in like, oh, they're laughing at me. No, it affect me like it made me feel a certain way. Like how you dare laugh at me? Like I'm trying to do something. Like what are you doing? You're not doing anything. Yeah, you want to laugh at me, but it was like whatever, right? But I remember the feeling it gives you. And early on, passing out my mixtapes, and I would always say to people because I was confident in my shit, and I would always tell people, "Hey, if you don't like this shit, bring it back to me, or don't even give it back to me. Throw that shit out the window and come back to me and say it was trash, and I'll give you your money back." I would say that to people.
Nobody ever came collect?
Nobody collected ever. And it's like, it's interesting to me because everybody who's ever listened to my shit has said, oh, it's good. You know, I mean, they might not have liked every song, but they would say, oh, yeah, like you got talent, like you could hear it. And a lot of people, nobody's ever told me I can't rap.
When I work, maybe like 3 days ago, I was helping the kid that works under me, and I had the music playing, and Clementine was playing, and I remember I told him like because I forgot what I had asked him before the day before, like what you like this song? It was on the radio or whatever, and it was like a girly, like what's a popular girl? Not Taylor Swift, the other one.
A popular girl?
Yeah,
Ariana Grande?
No, not young like that. Well, starts with an M. Carrie?
Mariah Carey?
No.
Oh, well, I mean, who else? Carrie?
Katy Perry.
Oh, Katy Perry.
What'd I say?
Carrie?
Yeah, the Katy Perry. There's a Katy Perry song, and he started singing to it. And he like, yeah, it's all right. And then I saw it now randomly. Sometimes I'll ask him. And I remember Clementine was playing, and I'm like, hey, you like the song? And he's like, who is it? And then I was like, oh, it's my brother. And he's like, he said, no, it's not. And I said, yeah, it is. You want me to show you? And he's like, and I showed him, and he's like, he said, I would never thought that your brother is actually good. Like if you told me like my brother makes music, because automatically he looks at me, he says, oh, I tell him my brother makes music. He's thinking about like some like hood, like, I fuck your bitch out, whatever.
Oh, yeah, maybe something like that. It's because I feel like every time you hear AI rap or you hear somebody say they rap, it's always
trap shit.
No, it's not even that, because I'm just saying it's not good. A lot of times it's not good.
The mumble stuff?
So because not just in general, when you hear somebody say that they rap or their brother rap, somebody else rap, a lot of times it's not good. And because of that, the majority is like that. It every time somebody hears that, they've heard it before and it's been trash. So when they hear me, that's why I never told anybody I rap. Like if you were my coworker or something like that, I never told them, because I just never liked that image of like, here, listen to me. Like, and I never liked that. I would let them find out on their own, because they would eventually, and then they would say, hey, what the heck? Like, why didn't you tell me? Your shit is good. Like, what are you doing? Like, you didn't say nothing. And I'm like, that's because I don't like telling people that. Because of that. Because of how the image is looked upon now.
Yeah, and then if you did tell them, it's always, the average person is not going to say you're trash. The average person won't say that. The average person would be like, oh yeah, it's not bad, it's not this, whatever. And when they come out of their way to tell you, hey, your shit's good, why didn't you tell me? You can tell it's a genuine feeling, because if it's shit, why would they come and tell you, hey, why didn't you tell me your shit's good, whatever.
Yeah. I would tell them, if it's shit, like, don't feel bad. Like, tell me it's shit. And I would hand them out. Like, I would hand them out at work. Like, I would get a stack and just hand them out at work. And I remember this one time I was handing them out, right? And then I handed out a good amount. And then there was this another coworker, and he was like, "Hey, let me get one." And I was like, "I'm not giving them out for free no more." And now that I think about that, I'm like, that was fucked up because I had given everybody else one for free. And then he asked me, and I said, I can't keep giving them for free. I said something along those lines. And he's like, I'm not, I don't expect you to give it to me for free. I'll pay for it. And I was like, all right, then, $5 or $6. And I remember thinking now, I'm like, yeah, that should have just gave it to him. That's fucked up. So it's like my moral compass was off there, but I just think, yeah, but a lot of times when it came to music, I felt like a lot of people have said, it was good. But then again, who do you know? What if they're lying to me? What if they're just scared of telling me? But I've never said, hey, come tell me, or I don't know how. I mean, I never told nobody. I always told them if it was trash, tell me it's trash. And they were like, oh, I'm gonna tell you if it's trash. If it's trash, I'm gonna tell you. But I think based on the image, they have an expectation of what the music is gonna be. So when I tell you I make music, you have an expectation, and then you put it on, and it's Clementine, you're hella surprised because you're like, what? You're not rapping about guns and this, even though at times I have rapped about guns and shit. So, I don't know.
But yeah, you can. I don't know. It seems like it's a good twist because it's like not you would never think, and for it to be, it's still rapping, but it's not the type of rap that an average person spits.
I think it's more because when I heard Big Crit, everything changed for me, and I think like that's like the singing and rapping, singing on the hooks or singing in between the verses and rapping at the same time. Big Crit did that, and for me, he changed the whole game for me because then I started trying to learn how to sing. And talking about that, I don't think a lot of people know this, but anybody can learn how to sing. It's really just a practice thing.
What about the pitches?
It's a talent. Like, it's not a talent. Let me say that, because I think when you say talent, it's like, oh, natural. You're born with it. Yeah, you can't obtain this. And it's like, no. You can learn how to sing. It's just practice. And that's why there's actually people who teach you how to sing. You can take classes for it. Anybody can learn how to sing. If your vocal cords are good, right, you can sing. And what I mean by good is you're healthy, right? You can talk like good. Tonsils, you're not like talking like, something like bad happened to you. Yeah, like, something. You're straight. I don't think people know that. And like people have told me, oh, I think you sing pretty good. Like, I think you sing all right. You sing good. And it's like, I wasn't born with this shit. I practiced this shit over and over and over again. I sounded like shit so many times trying to perfect it and get good. And even I still don't think I'm that good. But the thing is that I keep practicing it. And when you keep practicing something, you get better at it. Same with rapping. So with that being said, I wanted to ask you, do you think certain things or everything can be learned? Or do you think some things are just like, you're just born with it, it's talent?
I think it depends on what it is. Like a skill, something like woodworking, I think you can learn that. I feel like you can learn that there's techniques. You practice long enough, you would learn it. But something that requires to be athletic, something that requires like hops, jumps, that then.
Well, that's physical. Okay, so let's say about. Yeah, I guess when you bring that up, I guess that really.
Yeah, because sometimes genetics is like if you got those legs, like people who can run super fast.
Okay, but is that like that is a skill, or what would you? That's a talent. Okay, let's define talent and skill. Skill can be developed, and talent is just can.
I think talent is when you have a knack, like it's just like. It's just
when they say
you
like,
understand it naturally.
Okay,
like it's hard. You grasp it.
Oh, when they be like, you're a natural, right? Like you pick that shit up quick.
Yeah, it's like for whatever reason it just comes to you like math or something.
Yeah.
Like your brain just works like that. Some people's brain just works different. To be able to just be like, you know how people are like they'd be like something costs like 6,327, and they're like, what's 16% of that? And they're like,
they got that shit down.
They're like 427.
Yeah, because like I think people can learn how to rap. Anybody, then you can learn how to rap, but because look how many people do it. You know,
but like you can learn how to rap,
even beyond beat, you can learn that.
Yeah, you can. But I'm saying, but what about as far as like, is there a cap?
And what you can learn?
Yeah, like if no matter if you practice, are you ever gonna reach? No matter, like, let's say you practice for 50 years, right? Is there, because you don't have the talent for it, or the creativity?
I think to me, it's certain things like the voice that's gonna hurt you more.
The sound, if you don't have the sound,
if you don't have the voice, like if you can't really get it, because you can learn how to rap and learn how to rap well, but the only thing is how creative you are.
You know how sometimes people just sound good? Like the sound, for whatever reason, your sound like Big Scoop. Some shit, his shit just sounds good.
I think it's an ear.
Is that his voice or is that engineered?
Well, I mean, I don't know what song you're talking about. Just him naturally?
You like in when he's rapping like Street Life. What's that? The music video where he's on the stairs.
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about.
Something, bitch.
I don't know, but
his shit sounds good. Like his voice sounds good. Some people like sometimes, I don't even know her name. The girl that collabed with Russ on Instagram, and they made a song together. Not Bibi.
You're talking about the white girl.
The one that actually can sing and I play the guitar and like full music. You can play the piano. Like
Bibi?
Maybe, I don't know her name.
The describe her.
Because I don't know what the other one is.
On the latest album? Or are you talking about the white girl?
No, I'm talking about I don't think she only made one song with him.
Oh, okay.
You know how he did collab, like all the hottest, whoever has the hottest verse, he jumps on the song?
The girl?
Yeah, there's two girls. There was, I think, the first girl and the second girl.
I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about, but what about her?
She sounds good. Like her voice, it just sounds good.
That's why I said I think I have an ear for what sounds good, and I think I've proven that. I mean, I've proven that to you, I believe, because I would tell you a lot of times before motherfuckers blew up, I would tell you this person is good. I've done it for like multiple people. I was listening to Billie Eilish before Billie Eilish popped, and remember I was listening to her old shit. And then I was listening to Flora before he popped. I was listening to Ritz. No, J. Cole I was late on. I was listening to Ritz before he popped. Kendrick, I found him early. And then who else?
Hobson?
No, I was early on Hobson, but I was put on to Hobson. Who else? But there's been multiple people that I've told you.
Big
and Crit. I even told you. Yeah, Big Crit. You know, when I was listening to Big Crit in his mixtape days, like I wasn't thinking like he's on the come up. I'm like, he's already there. Like the music he was making,
it was so good.
It was so good. Yeah, I was like, this isn't somebody on the come up. He's already there. I was just like, I was so amazed by how well he can put songs together, and I think it was so impressive. But because I have done that multiple times, I believe I have a good ear for what sounds good. So I can just hear it. And then because I make music myself, I can hear other rappers and how they put words together and be like, oh yeah, he's special or he's good. You know, pause on that. But I think I have a good ear. And I like to go back now and listen to people as a grown adult, because I felt like when I was younger and I was hearing these songs, I always knew they were good, but I didn't know how good. And one person is Selena. I went back and was like, because I already knew she was good, right? We already knew she was a legend and stuff like that. Okay, let's go back and let's boil this shit down. Let me analyze this shit how I used to. I went back and I listened to her, and I was listening to her and I was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, she was special. Yeah, I could hear it. I could hear she. You're not gonna find somebody like that. She was for sure hella special. You could just hear it, English and Spanish, both.
I haven't listened to her in a long
And I'm
time.
like, she's hella good, and that's why, like I said, Cumbia Kings. When we were living in Stockton, in the hood, remember that? In the hood early on, in the all black neighborhood, and we were like the only Mexicans there. Then I was listening to Cumbia Kings, and I think that made a play to influence in why I like rap, because I never thought about it. These guys were rapping. Even if you go back to them now, look how well they were rapping. People need to put respect on Cumbia Kings. I tell you, because they shit is fire. They rap hella well, and it's like it's a whole bunch. It's like a band. So sometimes I don't even know who's rapping. Like I can tell you the picture of like, oh, it's this guy. Just by hearing it though, you could tell that they were pushing themselves. You could tell, because it's not normal. The way they're rapping, it's not normal.
I think, and also we're talking about the early 2000s. Huh?
I know, and they're still smoking a lot of people today. And it's like, that's why I think I like Spanish music, because I know you asked me, do you like Spanish music? I do like Spanish music, but I just feel like it doesn't surprise me. And I feel like, I love it when something surprises me. And I feel like I get more surprised in English than I do in Spanish, because in Spanish, I already know what to expect. When I hear it, I already know what type of shit I'm going to hear. And with English, it's always a mystery. When you hear a new song from Hobson, it's a mystery. How's he going to rap? Until you hear the beat and you have to predict, what is he going to do? And then you hear him do it. And it's not like that with these bands, but not that's their own thing. I understand that's their own lane, but to me, that's what piques my interest.
But it sounds so good though. Like I listen to to anything Spanish. I don't know what it is about the Spanish language. This shit just sounds good. People can say shit that sounds hard, and some things that they say you can't translate it into English. It just sounds good in Spanish only, and it's hard in Spanish only. When the dude says about it, they drink when they want to type shit. That shit you can feel it. Like, that's hard.
I think like Spanish is special, but maybe we're just saying that because we're Mexicans.
Spanish speakers.
But maybe somebody who who knows a different language, who's their primary language, maybe they say the same thing about that. Because it's so different how words are used compared to English, because that's the only thing we have to compare it to. So, yeah, it's just interesting. But we didn't even finish the thing. So, do you think? Oh, you said certain things, huh? About with talent and skill.
Yeah, I think talent. I mean, I feel like I feel hard work, and I'll do talent for sure, no matter what. If you work hard enough, even somebody with talent, you won't be able to catch up to you. But there's also such a thing as, like, when it comes to physical traits, there's some things you just can't do. Especially, how
you don't think so?
No, because you look at people who are
like UFC fighters,
athletically gifted. Yeah,
some people
like reflexes, speed.
But you don't think that could be trained?
I feel like it can be trained, but somehow, I think when you have a natural talent for it, and you have the body. Like, you're built for it, your body's built for it, it's just an edge. And if he's working just as hard as you, you're not going to be able to catch up. There's no way.
So there's some people who are just always going to have an advantage over you?
If they're naturally gifted. Physically. I think only physically. I think anything that's not physical can unless it's like genius type shit. Like,
but that's what makes me wonder, like, how does that work? Right? Like, if you say like, is it like, I don't know. Can you manipulate your voice to where it does sound good? Because you can manipulate your voice. Like you hear Kendrick have multiple different voices. So if you got a bad voice, can you manipulate your voice to sound good?
Yeah, like T-Pain.
Well, T-Pain, yeah.
Like he used auto-tune?
He used auto-tune, but T-Pain can sing. Like
T-Pain's Twitch shit.
Shit bumping, huh? His intro.
Yeah. I just seen a clip on it, and I like the other day, and I was like, it's so. This is new though. This is like I've never seen this before. Like who? I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are rappers and play video games. I think Cat Williams does it or something. But
Cat Williams does it.
well, I thought so. I thought he
I
plays.
don't think it's him.
Well, T-Pain though, I've never seen. It seems like that's super interesting. Like I don't even fuck with T-Pain like that, but his shit sound just based on that, it intrigued me and makes me want to go watch his shit because it's like if he's doing this for his intro, he's gotta be good. He's gotta be having like a tight ass stream.
It's interesting how shit has changed. Everybody streams nowadays. Everybody, even it seems like in the NBA, even a lot of people are streaming video games. It's becoming like a norm thing.
Freaking, I remember I used to watch the Raiders quarterback at the time. Freaking, what the heck is his name? Robert's gonna be mad in a month
because you can't remember. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Yeah, how do I forget his name? Yeah,
you're the fan. I'm not even that big of a fan.
Derek Carr was he played Fortnite. He played Fortnite. I'd watch him play Fortnite, and he it's like I've never seen like same thing. I've never seen like people of this caliber as far as physical athlete type shit playing games.
Because you would think, oh, they don't do that, huh?
Yeah, because I used to always like think that video games are like a negative. It's like a negative badge if you play video games, because if society always told you video games are for kids and it's not grown folk the stuff. And if you're playing video games when in your late 20s, 30s, you're a loser. All this shit. You hear all this shit in society.
I know. It had me thinking like that too. I remember being working in the fields, and I remember telling our brother-in-law, because at that time he was probably like 19, 20, something like that, and he was playing games still. And I remember I told him, when I'm 18, I'm not gonna be playing games. Like, I'm gonna be doing something else. And now he gives me shit for it. Like, you remember when you told me you're not gonna be playing games no more? And I was like, oh yeah, but I was dumb back then. But see, even they got me to a certain point that I told him that the Matrix be trying to get you.
I know, and now everybody's playing video games. Everyone, no matter what. Seems like, and then now I think it's starting to get more popular, and I think it's only gonna get like even better.
Yeah, but there's always the difference, huh? Like, you play video games, oh, but you don't play video games. Like that, and what I mean by that is like, oh, you just play Call of Duty in 2K and Madden. Oh, you're not playing Fallout 4. You're not playing The Witcher 3. Like, that's like a next step, huh? That's like a next level.
So there's categories or there's stages of a gamer.
Well, there's levels, right? Because it seems like
So where's World of Warcraft at?
Probably still in the lame category. Like, if you tell people I play World of Warcraft, they'd be like, yeah, it's not, you can't blend in no more. Like with I play video games. You know how it's normal now? That's still not normal yet.
You think so?
Yeah, me just thinking. When I think about it, you tell somebody I play World of Warcraft, they'd be like, yeah, this fool's
So you think that's too far gone?
I think people think. It's just a video game. But I'm saying, when I'm thinking when you tell people you play video games, and you tell them I play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but it's a good game though. Like, I remember if it wasn't a paid thing, I'd be playing it more often. But because it's a subscription thing. But I used to think, you play World of Warcraft, you're a loser. That's my mentality. Like, you're too far gone into the whatever. That's how I used to think. You play World of Warcraft, that's so trash. That game's so trash. Or like I used to judge people who play World of Warcraft because I didn't know what the fuck I was. I was just a kid. I was dumb. But then when it came out in 2019, when they did the whole classic relaunch, and I got intrigued for some reason. And I'm like, let me see what's it about. And it's a good game. Shit's a good game. And that shit's 20 years old. That shit's a good game. I got like, I don't know, I did like 40 hours into it or whatever. And I'm like, this shit's a good game. I can understand now why shit was so popping back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, because video games raises the question, right, if it's a waste of time or not. And I guess you could ask yourself how many hours you really put into gaming and what have you really gotten out of it. And when you do that, I mean, it's just a good pastime, right? That's
I
really
know.
it. But okay, and it sounds bad when you say that, but it's like there's so many other shit that we do that's the same shit. When you watch TV, it's the same shit. When you do a bunch of other shit, it's the same shit. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of shit that you do that's unproductive, like scrolling TikTok. And if you calculate the hours, you could have put that into something else. So I think,
Everybody wastes time on something.
on something. So you can't shit on the other next person. I just think that everybody should have a balance, but to each their own, I guess. Going back to Spanish, I think Spanish comedy is the funniest shit ever. Like jokes told in Spanish. Because like I was watching, like I've never laughed so hard at English before more than Spanish. In Spanish, even when I went to Mexico and they tell me jokes, it's way more funnier for some reason.
Yeah, that's why it's so. I always wondered why, because when people say certain things in Spanish, like when they say like money, like if you think about in English, when translated in English, when they say that money will make a dog dance, and it's like that doesn't.
Well, I just think
that
certain shit you can't translate.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good, but you say it in Spanish, it sounds funny.
It sounds funny when you call somebody a narizón, huh?
Yeah,
pinche arijón, or something like that. It's funny, and if you just something you can't translate because in English it just be calling somebody big, like a big ears,
big nose,
yeah, big nose,
and that sounds more mean, huh? In Spanish it's just comedy, but in English it sounds like you're being mean to whoever the hell you're calling. Yeah, because they'll take it as disrespect, but in Spanish everybody would just laugh at it.
Well, I mean, some people might get offended, but I mean, the majority of people seem to just take a joke. But in Spanish, I have laughed so hard. And the reason why I say that is because I was like the other day before I went to sleep, I was watching, I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across a dude who I would consider him a comedian, but he just goes out and about, and just makes jokes at random people that he goes around the street. He lives somewhere in Mexico and it's hilarious. That shit is so funny to me. And he's so unique in his pranks, and his pranks are actually pranks. Nowadays, pranks is like, oh, I slap you or some shit like that. And then you try to hit me back, bro, it's a prank. It's a prank. That's not how that shit works. A prank is where like nobody gets hurt. It's like if I break a phone and make you believe that it's actually your phone, but it's a dummy phone. That's a prank. And this guy, through his way of like just communicating with people and talking, it's hella funny. I wanted to show you because I was laughing hella hard when I seen this guy.
I never even thought about comedians, like the Spanish speaking comedians. They got to be out there, and I've never looked them up. I don't know who's good, who's not good. The only people who I know that are comedians that are Spanish speakers are the ones that are known. Like, right, George Lopez, freaking the fluffy dude.
Yeah, and it's just it makes me like everything that people are doing in America, people are doing in Mexico. So this thing about like just going out and about every day talking to people, I think that's something that is hella tight because it's just like playing a role and not taking everything serious. And I feel like it's hard for the average person just to turn off that switch of caring and just going out and about and meeting people. Because I think if you're able to do that, how exciting is your life, right? Because you don't know who you're going to meet today. And it seems like it's just a funny way. But this guy, look at this guy's jokes, because I never seen nobody do this.
Unas paletitas de hielo, ¿les gustan? Son gratis. ¿Usted no quiere unas gratis? Son artesanales.
Right, he's selling his own. Look.
Yo.
That's what he's selling.
A ver, ¿a quién le gusta el chile? Traigo rajas con queso.
I've never seen. Like, this is so creative.
Mire, la más exótica.
It's just ice and then a chicken head.
Yeah.
¿Cómo le hizo para hacer todo eso? Voy a agradecer que no pasó ninguna dama aquí, no, yo le ofrezco exactamente la del... No, pues ese es un negocio que no va a dejar nada.
Viene que le ando quitando su negocio.
¿Por qué?
Porque yo también vendo paletas, sí.
Está bien.
Pero estas están más perronas. Paleta como esta. Traigo paletas.
Funny, man. It seems like Spanish is more about. It sounds like a comedy. It's a comedy.
Pata de pollo.
It seems like way more
Comedic,
harmless, huh?
Yeah, Spanish is
¿Se ve
more
que tiene un chingo de calor,
comedic.
jefe? ¿Sí tiene calor?
Oh shit, it's just a lot longer. But there's actually a clip of him handing it to somebody else, and then the guy actually eating it. He's like, "Oh, how do you eat this?" He's like, and he's eating it.
Well, yeah, I don't know why. Now that you're saying all this, every time I've spoken to anyone who speaks Spanish, right? It's easy. I feel it's easier to make them laugh. Like I can never make nobody laugh in English. Never. Like I have done it, but it's always accidental. I say something that I didn't even understand. It was even funny.
Yeah, you didn't plan it to be funny.
Yeah, I didn't plan it to be funny. And then when I understand what I said and why it's left funny, then I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. How the fuck did I say this? But in Spanish, it's always easier to make somebody laugh for me. I can always and I don't know why. It's
Maybe
easy.
that's just a you thing.
Yeah, no, I fuck with Spanish.
Yeah, but here's another video too. Let's watch this one too.
Esto es su helado, oiga.
No, bien sabroso.
Sabrosote, ¿verdad?
Está chulada,
Yo traigo aquí unos más perrones que
It's just the way of
regalado.
speaking, huh? It's so much
se los
way
voy a
more fun.
regalar. Es que se ve que usted es catador de helados y que me puede decir si están buenos o no.
Fíjate que yo no creo en eso de los regalos.
No, ¿en serio?
A mí si me regala un dulce, no se lo acepto.
¿A poco?
Nada.
¿Y si se lo vendo?
No lo
Que
acepto.
atrás, no, pues menos. Nadie da nada a cambio de nada. Nadie.
Te voy a enseñar lo que traigo, nomás te lo voy a enseñar.
Si tú dices el lado de la realidad, ¿verdad?
Mire, son paletas artesanales.
Ah, qué chulada.
Ese es de taco de barbacoa.
Se ven bonitos, ¿eh?
Like a taco.
Mire, la de un huevo con jamón.
Una comida. Que haga una
Frijoles de la olla.
Está bueno eso, ¿eh?
Está chistoso, ¿eh?
¿Y sí se le venden?
No, qué chingados.
Sobre todo esa de frijoles, ¿no?
No. Nomás ha habido 2 personas que las han probado. Está bueno.
Sí, pero...
Paleta de frijoles de la olla.
No vendo yo las regalo.
Ah, sea funny.
¿Quiere una? ¿Y tu mamá dónde está? Ah, ok. Mira. ¿Te gustan los frijoles? ¿No? Pues nomás traigo de frijoles. Mira. Ve, enséñasela a tu mamá, mira. Ve, enséñasela.
Paleta de frijol.
Yeah.
That is funny though.
This is him giving back.
Son regaladas. Porque nomás es que necesito que las prueben y me digan si están
This
buenas
was
o
the
no.
most funny shot. I was
Es que voy a
laughing
poner un
so
negocio,
hard.
pero
Like, my
después.
chest hurt.
Y ahorita dando que la gente las pruebe y me diga si
he has
están
different
buenas o
ones
no,
still,
pero
more.
gratis.
Órale,
¿Qué? ¿Las quieren probar?
yo voy a tirar la agua.
¿Va a tirar el agua? Pues ahorita que la tire regresa.
Ándale.
Órale. ¿Usted sí va a querer una? Tita artesanal. De hielo. Pues para la calor, ¿verdad? Ahorita.
He's saying
que
he
sí?
got exotic popsicles.
¿De qué sabor? A ver,
He's telling
tengan
people he wants them to try it
Miguel,
out
Es para refrigerar.
first before he starts his business, and he's
Yeah.
showing them.
Le traigo
got,
una
so
de
yeah.
taco de barbacoa. Trae sus cebollitas, su
It's a frozen
limón,
taco?
su
Yeah.
salsa. A darla. A usted.
He's like, tengo la salsita. He said,
También tengo de frijoles de la olla. Frijoles de la olla y tengo de huevo con jamón.
No, pues está bueno eso.
¿Sí? O de... Este es de Chetos Flaming Hot, nomás que ya lo mordieron. ¿Cuál le gusta más?
No, pues, probándolas no.
¿Quiere probar todas?
No, todos no. Únicamente acabo de botanear,
Acaba de botanear.
comer.
Entonces no se le antoja.
No, pero es que ahorita acabo de hacer un...
Ah, sí, pues ya anda lleno, ¿ah?
Sí, pues, cuando anda uno con el estómago vacío, pues está cabrón.
No, qué bueno que ya comió.
Sí,
Pero bueno.
ahorita vengo mi cantón también.
Ah, bueno, no, pues
Acá en Rodríguez.
ahí para la próxima, a ver si lo encuentro y tiene hambre, me dice.
Sí, no, sí.
Sí,
Nos
se habla
echamos uno de
funny, man.
barbacoa.
It's funny because he's like, mira nomás. There was another guy who was like, the way he responded to it is just hella funny. Thank you for listening to the AB podcast. You can follow us in the links below. All our social medias are linked there. If you want to buy some merch, the merch that we're usually wearing in the podcast, you can buy it as well. The link will be below.